All right, calling to order the October 1st, 2025 meeting of the Conservation Commission at 7:04 p.m. Open. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being audio-video recorded. The agenda lists all the topics which may be discussed at the meeting and those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken from these discussions. Not all items may be discussed, and other items may be raised to the extent permitted by open meeting law. Please be advised that the town of Lunenburg utilizes Zoom platform as host for its hybrid and remote meetings. That the Zoom platform utilizes AI technology, known as AI Companion, to create audio transcriptions of meetings to aid in the subsequent preparation of meeting minutes. And that the AI Companion is activated immediately upon launching the Zoom application. You are hereby notified that the AI technology may capture audio prior to the start of the meeting and or following the conclusion of the meeting. Okay, we'll start with a roll call. Mike LaRouche.
Present.
Mary Wilson.
Here.
Richard Bursch.
Present.
Andrea Burnett.
Present.
Teddy Doucette.
Here.
And I am present, and Chris said he might be running late. We don't have any appointments. For public comment, comments are to be limited to 3 minutes and on a subject matter under the direct jurisdiction of the commission. Comments about current agenda items are to be made during the comment period of the specific agenda item. Please address all comments to the chair. Do we have any public comment tonight? Does not look like it. Pollinator habitat check-in. Do you have any updates for us, Mike? I know we've been pretty quiet over there.
Yes, I do. I have to be there today, and I met some of the volunteers, and they said, "Oh, maybe you can help us with this, Michael." Apparently, our latest rain barrel that we had as part of our Eagle Scout project looks like it collapsed. That last rainstorm put enough water in the tank that it collapsed forward on its own. So the task was to remove, the 25% of the water that was in there so we could actually empty it and put it upright. And so we were successful to do that. But it kind of tells us that, the other, two water tanks that we have are within these metal racks. So it kind of protects the tank that is vinyl from perhaps, unless it's totally perfectly level, chances are it would be fine, but I don't think the scouts put the tank on equal footing, and I think with all of the water that came in, it forced it to kind of collapse on itself from one side. So we learned something, and we have, as I said, the two other tanks from the Eagle project, and we'll probably think about getting the metal cages that usually surround these tanks. And I think that might be a lot. It would go a long way in protecting the tanks from this day forward. So, but other than that, we are kind of winding down the pollinator habitat. Things are going to sleep, and whatever fall does to the habitat, they get. So that's what's happening. Although some of the volunteers were watering plants and they were planting plants still. So apparently it's not over for the habitat as far as what goes on. There's always something happening, and for that, it's truly appreciated.
Thank you so much, Mike, for everything you do over there.
Okay.
And for the check-in.
Okay.
All right, we do not have any minutes to approve tonight, so we will start our first public hearing. Pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 in the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws. We have a request for determination of applicability for the reclassification of Mulpus Brook as an intermittent stream at 100 Howard Street. Do we have the applicant or their representative on the call tonight?
Mary Ann DePinto, Three Oaks Environmental.
Okay.
And I believe
Um,
Tanner's available. He's zooming from his phone.
Yep, okay, I do see him on here. Okay, is there anything you'd like to present or?
Yes, please. In terms of the description of what's proposed, it's not Mulpus Brook per se. It's a tributary to it. I could, I don't know if I could put up on my screen, but I have a USGS map that shows the two intermittent stream channels that come together to form Mulpus Brook. So this is up gradient. We have pictures from July, and we have one photograph from August 1st, showing the stream channel bone dry the whole time, even after 2 inches of rain in July. The pictures that were taken immediately after that show the channel still not flowing and completely dry. So it's just that up gradient section up to Howard Street. Nothing beyond
You
that.
can share your screen if you'd like, if there's something you'd like to share with us.
Let's see if I can pull it up. Yeah. Okay. Hang on a minute.
And is this also in OpenGov? I know I saw a lot of pictures in OpenGov.
Open. I'm not sure. Oh, the photographs that we took. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, so the all the attachments to the application, we have the WPA Form 1 and the site plan and it's the photographs, but I don't recall seeing anything. Let me see. We'll share your screen and we'll see what you have.
I'm looking at I had two Topo Builder. I used Topo Builder to check to see what the most recent topographic maps show, and I did it in two different ways. One with the background in it. You probably can't see my pointer, but if you start,
I'm not seeing your screen at all.
Oh, all right.
It looks like you aren't sharing your screen yet.
All right. What do I click on? All right. Wait a minute. I have to go back to you guys. Hang on. Share screen. All right. Now I have to be able to pull up what's in Earn While You Learn here. Let's see. Share system audio.
If you just at the bottom of your screen where you
Yes.
see there should be like a green up arrow that says share screen.
I hit that.
And then when you hit that, it should you can choose one of those browsers that shows up. It'll show you a couple different screens and you can choose to share one of those.
All right. I hit share screen, and now I have a topographic map on my screen. Can you see it?
Did you click on it to show it?
Yes. Okay, I have that up. Let me go to the other.
I don't see anything.
Yeah,
either,
nothing is
Jenny,
being
just as
shared.
a sanity check.
No, I'm not
right.
seeing anything either.
Okay. Entire screen window. There we go. Share. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
It's teeny tiny for me. Let me see. Anyway, everything that we're looking at is north of Howard Street. The stream channel is not labeled as Mulpus Brook. It's a tributary to Mulpus Brook. So I wouldn't want to call Mulpus Brook, which is perennial, an intermittent stream. And the photographs we have from July 3rd on show that it's not flowing and there's no water in it at all. Just wanted to get it declared to be an intermittent stream channel.
Okay. So I'm confused because the application does state that what is being done here is to reclassify Mulpus Brook, obviously not the entirety of the brook,
No.
to an intermittent stream, but I didn't see any callouts for it being a tributary in any of the documentation that was in opened
Okay.
up.
Yeah, it's
Um,
specifically the portion of the stream that's on Mr. Cole's property.
And it, to me, when I've looked at that on maps, it looks like that is Mulpus Brook and what we consider
Oh.
Mulpus Brook right now.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, that portion of what there are some topo maps that say branch of or tributary to Mulpus Brook. I ran, in addition to the photographs, to verify that the photographs were actually depicting something that could be verified using calculations. I did run stream stats on it. It comes up as 0.38 square miles. So it's under that half square mile that would be a trigger under certain circumstances. And it's not flowing as from 10% of the year. It's not at least 10% of the year based on the stream stats calculation, which I could bring up if you don't have them in front of you. Let's
so
see.
we do have the stream stats calculations in OpenGov,
Okay.
but,
Okay.
and those are not stream stats calculations for Mulpus Brook. That's for a tributary.
It's
Mulpus
the
Brook.
it has been labeled as a portion of Mulpus Brook. The entirety of the brook is not what I just want to make sure that we weren't looking at the entirety of Mulpus Brook, because at a certain point downstream it is perennial. So I just didn't want to confuse
This
it.
is
The
an
portion
area right now
Right.
that is classified as Mulpus Brook. And so as of right now, the area that you are wanting to reclassify is considered Mulpus Brook, and it's the area from
Okay.
where the headwater is to.
Yes,
is
correct.
So
Howard
technically, so
Street.
that is Mulpus Brook right now,
Okay.
right?
It,
I want to make sure I'm not, I'm gonna share my
Yes.
screen. I just want to make sure I'm not confused, because when you're saying tributaries to Mulpus Brook, for me right now, this is Mulpus Brook, and I just want to make sure I'm not misunderstanding.
all right. It's just a matter of semantics, and on some maps it does show up all the way up to the headwaters as Mulpus Brook. It does.
Are there maps where it doesn't show as Mulpus Brook?
The one
The
I have in front
headwaters?
of us here, that the one in front of us doesn't have it called Mulpus Brook until you get to where the confluence of the two tributaries or the two branches meet. From there down, it's perennial.
Can you, Mary, you have your hand raised.
I just wanted to let you know that Mass Mapper shows it as Mulpus Brook up to
Okay.
the pond that's located on the O'Brien property at 390 Howard.
Yeah, that's where I was looking. I feel like Mass
Okay.
Mapper is a very good
Yeah.
authority
And I
for.
believe it submitted that with the report to the attachments.
So the other thing I want to bring up is that the DEP has commented that I'm actually just gonna read it. Give me 1 second. Did you see the DEP comments on this?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so I'm just gonna read them for
And Tana can
rest of
speak to
the-
that.
commission. Where did it go? I just had a minute. Here it is.
Yeah. While you're doing that, we looked at
Yes.
the drought declaration up through August 8th, and it showed that there was no drought through August 8th. Then when the drought committee met, they pushed the date back to August 1st.
Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen so that
Okay.
the
Can I
commissioners
start
can.
sharing? I should stop.
Yeah,
Hang on.
it'll take over when I take over. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, DEP comments are, Mass DEP is in receipt of the RDA for 100 Howard Street. A new drought declaration was issued September 9th, 2025, reflecting conditions as of August 1st, 2025. For CERO communities, the Secretary's declaration finds that the central and northeast regions are in a level 2 significant drought, while the southeast region has been declared level 1 mild drought. Please note that observations of no flow made on or after August 1st, 2025 for any pending or incoming RDAs, ANRADs, or NOIs may not be used to change the status of a perennial river or stream with riverfront area until level 0 status is again declared. One of the pictures submitted as part of this request is dated August 1st and therefore cannot be considered in determining the status of the stream. So our agent administrator did request that this application be withdrawn.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Just based on these DEP comments.
We were trying to find another photograph between July 3rd and the 28th or whenever the next photograph was. I've been unable to locate that, so we didn't want to withdraw this because the stream was completely dry from the 3rd of July through the end of July. And Tanner, if you're available, if you can speak to it. You have to hit #6 or something like that, or *6 to.
It looks like he
Mm.
unmuted.
Okay, so everyone can hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean.
Can you just state your address for us?
Tanner Cole, 856 Massachusetts Ave, Lunenburg.
Thank you.
And in terms of pictures, I mean, it's just the way the calendar worked out. I started taking pictures before I left for vacation and wasn't able to finish taking pictures until after I got back. But I've owned the property since 2017, and I tell you, whether you call it a Malpas or a tributary, that stream channel that flows through my property dries out every summer. That's just the nature of it. I was actually pretty bummed out because kids camping there the spring of 2018, just after I bought the property, and Memorial Day weekend, we camped out there, and there was very little water in the stream at that point. So that's just the nature of that stream channel. And in my mind, and I'm by no means a wetland scientist or expert or any of that, but the 4-day rule is a little bit shocking to me, to say that if you can find any stream channel that dries up for 4 days out of the calendar, that's considered intermittent. In my mind, that's a pretty low bar. I mean, the first pictures we took out there were July 3rd. The last pictures were the 29th, 30th, 31st, August 1st, somewhere in there. And we actually got a heavy rain during one of those days, and it was dry as a bone. It was dry all month. And so I did receive the administrators or the agent's comment to withdraw, but at that point we had already done work. And if you're telling me that because I took the pictures.
Oh, I think, did we lose you?
That's the determination, I guess then
Oh, I think
is
you're
what it is,
going
but that seems
in and out
awfully
a little bit.
arbitrary to me. So at any rate, I hope you heard most of my spiel.
I think I got most
So-
of it. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything else to share before I move on to see if there are any questions from the commission?
No, no.
I'm all set.
All right, thank you. Do we have any questions from members of the commission? Does not appear that we do. I say for myself, the implications, oh, Richard?
I
Did
was
you,
gonna ask, is this something we should maybe ask for a peer review on to take a look at the information that's been presented?
yeah, I was gonna say for myself, from what I understand, the implications of reclassifying, near the headwaters can be, I guess more severe than if it were somewhere else in the stream, but also, with the DEP recommending what they're recommending and, saying that we're in a drought right now, I would not feel comfortable, making a decision on this tonight. And I think that maybe the peer review may be a good idea, or I'm curious do we have any other? Opinions from members of the commission? Teddy?
I just want to say that I agree with you, Madam Chair. I don't think this is prudent to vote on this in the middle of the drought.
Thank you, Teddy. Mary?
Yeah, I would be aligned with DEP. I mean, we don't often go against them. I mean, I don't recall us going against their advice. So I would be inclined to align with DEP.
Okay. So, we have a couple of
Madam-
options. Oh, was that,
I had my hand raised. Yeah. Mary Ann DePinto again. I agree at this point. We need 4 photographs within a year, 365 days. So between now and July 3rd, all we need is 1 more photo. And then we'll get that next May. At that point, we can refile. So if it's up to Tanner whether or not he wants to withdraw at this point to avoid having to have a vote at this point. Let's get a 4th picture. That's my recommendation.
thank you, Mary Ann.
You're welcome.
Mike, you have your hand up?
Yes, Madam Chair, I was just going to concur with my other colleagues. Sounds like it might be prudent to wait and go along with the DEP recommendations.
Thank you, Mike. Mr. Cole, do you feel like you may want to withdraw your application, or would you prefer that we, I think that most likely we would be looking at either recommending a peer review or a negative determination.
No, oh, Jenny,
Positive.
I think you mean a positive
A
determination.
positive determination, yes, sorry, thank you.
Is the peer review going to make any meaningful difference? I mean, I'm not opposed to doing peer review, but if the peer review is going to end up at the same determination, then I don't see much value in that. I think everybody's looking at DEP's comments and saying we were 12 hours behind schedule, and we're cooked either way, regardless. Even if peer review came back and agreed with the information that's presented, I think the default will be, well, pictures on August 1st don't count, so you're done. And if that's the case, then I guess we just withdraw and we'll all go through this all over again next year.
Okay, so are you saying that you'd like to withdraw the application?
No, I'm asking to get the commission's opinion on what peer review looks like. If somebody could say, geez, if we do the peer review and it comes back that it's aligns with everything you've said, then we would be more supportive. or
Tanner,
to say,
the
doesn't
peer
matter.
review will look at what we submitted, which is one of the photographs is not valid. Therefore, we need a fourth photograph. They will come up with the same determination that DEP has said.
Okay.
All
all right.
Your best bet
We-
would be to withdraw.
Thank you,
it.
Mary Ann.
You're welcome.
Mary, you had your hand up?
Well, I was gonna kind of say the same thing. And even if they went out on site during a drought, I'm not certain what different conclusion they could come back with. And I, would want Tanner to have the opportunity of investing his money, if he's gonna do it, for peer review, with some chance of getting some type of, benefit out of it.
Thank you, Mary. Agree. So with that information, Tanner,
I'd like-
what are you thinking? Oh, you're muted. Are you saying anything?
Maybe accidentally hit it.
I'd like to withdraw.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And I'm sure we'll see you again soon. Or in a couple months.
Thank you all. Appreciate your time. Good night.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Have a
You're
good
welcome.
night, both of
You
you.
too.
Okay, let me just make a couple notes. So we are going to only one new hearing tonight and move on to continued public hearings. We pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40 in the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws. We have a public hearing on a notice of intent by Tanner Cole for construction of a common driveway to service 4 single-family dwellings to be served by private wells and on-site sewage disposal systems, involving the crossing of a bordering vegetated wetland in 2 locations, with all proposed dwellings and private driveways outside the 100-foot buffer zone. I see Greg Roy is on the call.
Yes, Madam Chair. I'm Greg Roy with Dilson Roy. I'm representing the applicant, which is also Tanner Cole this evening. So I'm not even sure I need to share my screen here. I think we have a fairly straightforward process here. 2 weeks ago, we presented revised plans based on the comments that we received from Art with Ecotech. And he essentially agreed with all of our changes except for 3 comments. And I'll just highlight those. And we did issue a revised letter with a revised plan, but it really was just a note. It was sort of a Scribner's error, if you will. So there were 3 comments. One was we needed to revise a note on the plan. We showed 3 culverts like he asked, but the note only called for 2. So we updated the plan to make sure that we were calling for the 3 culverts that are proposed as he requested. And then he also asked that oversight of the wetland replacement area construction with seasonal monitoring for a minimum of 2 years be provided by a qualified wetland scientist. We have no dispute with that, so we agree with that as a condition. So that's more for the commission's use. If you were to approve, you could issue that as a condition. And then he asked that the notice of intent form be updated to reflect the updated impacts, and we have done that, and we will forward that to the commission. So that's it. No real significant plan changes between now and between 2 weeks ago and now. Just essentially a note on the plan that was sort of a Scribner's error. We forgot to update a note. We put the 3 culverts in, but we forgot to change the note that said 2 to 3. So that sort of all that changed on the plan.
Okay, thank you.
And that's it.
I do have a note here.
I did get, sorry, just to follow up, Art, I think we uploaded it to the portal, but Art did review our revised submittal, and he did say that there was no further comments.
Yep.
So I think we're in good shape at this point.
So, the message from him says, all the outstanding comments from my 9/18/2025 peer review findings and recommendations letter have now been adequately addressed, and I have no further comments. And that's from Art Allen.
Yeah, thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Greg. Okay. Do we have any questions from members of the commission? Mary? Oh, you're muted.
That means you couldn't hear me. Yeah, so
Yep.
I don't have any questions. I just wanted to make a comment that I think we do have replication areas on this plan.
Yes.
So I think as a special condition, we want to make certain we have the 2-year monitoring added.
Yes.
Absolutely. You know, I should have asked before I start. I meant to do this. I think I know the answer to this question, but I want to make sure there's 4 members that are available to vote for this. I think that Mike, Jenny, Mary, and Rich can all vote on this, but I just want to make
Yes.
sure that's the case. Okay.
I think,
Definitely I can.
I definitely can.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. I meant to say that before I started.
It's a fair question. Greg,
Yeah.
thanks for keeping us honest there.
Well, yeah, it's keeping you honest, but it's also keeping the applicant honest. We don't want to submit testimony if we don't have, a quorum, a voting quorum. So, thank you. Sorry.
And then I just want to, do we have any other questions for members of the commission? Does not appear, so I'm just pulling up the recommendations from the DEP and Art, just to make sure we have all any conditions or. Pull up my notes from the last meeting. Okay. Okay, so, my notes are, Mary asked for the replication ratio, so that's 1.6 to 1.
Yep.
And then since there's replication, it'll be 2-year monitoring requirement, updated plan, okay. So looks like the special condition that we would have is the 2-year monitoring requirement. Okay, I think I would be looking for a motion to approve with a special condition of 2-year monitoring on the wetland replication.
So moved.
Second, Mike?
Okay, well, that's Mary with the motion and Mike with the second. Roll call vote, Mike LaRouche,
Aye.
Mary Wilson,
Aye.
Richard Bursch,
Aye.
and I for myself. That is a motion to pass, because Andrea and Teddy cannot vote on this one.
Great. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Greg.
Hey,
Have a good night.
could I give the commission a quick update before I sign off?
Sure,
I promise it'll only be 60 seconds.
that's fine. Take your time.
I wanted to say that I filed a notice of intent for Chapter Lane.
Okay,
As
oh,
I
that's
said,
199, right? No.
yes, 199 Mass Ave, as I said I would in my letter to you, which you may or may not have read already.
I
but
did.
Okay, and we had a little bit of a snafu here internally, and I apologize. We haven't paid the local fee yet, so that's the only reason we're not on your agenda this evening. But the application is in, and we're working to get that, the local application fee to move the OpenGov process forward. So I wanted to just say that we're not ignoring you. We did file as we said we would. We're working through the OpenGov process, and I apologize for the delay on that. So I just wanted to give you that update.
Thank you. And I appreciate that you had sent us a letter about it too and kept us
Yeah,
updated.
and I
So-
want to make sure that the commission knows that this is not the fault of the applicant, of the owners. They hired me very quickly after they got your first note, okay? This is really the fact that it took so long to get here is really a product of the fact that all of the consulting civil engineers are very busy. So I really apologize. It's on me. It's not on Mark and Mike Chapman Lane.
Okay,
So I'm working to resolve the issue to get on your agenda as soon as possible. So I just want to make sure you knew that.
okay, thank you so much, Greg.
You bet.
Okay, so we are going to move on to where was I? Pursuant to MGL Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Town of Lunenburg Wetlands Protection and Municipal Bylaws, a public hearing on a notice of intent by the Town of Lunenburg DPW for the replacement of a deteriorated culvert at the Northfields Road crossing over Mulpus Brook at 763 Northfields Road. Do we have the applicant? Oh, actually, you know what? I have a note. I believe that they asked to continue. Let me just check and make sure I'm not. Yep, they requested to continue. So I would be looking for a motion to continue to our next meeting date, which is October 15th, 2025. Do I have a
So
motion?
moved.
Second,
Is that Richard? Okay, I have Mary with the motion and Richard with the second. Roll call vote, Mike LaRouche,
Aye.
Mary Wilson,
Aye.
Richard Birsch,
aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
Betty Doucette,
Aye.
an I for myself. Continued to October 15th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Okay. Up next, we have administrative determinations. And we have 39 Island Road, a request to remove one dead tree in the front yard. Do we have the resident with us tonight?
I don't see them on,
Okay,
Madam Chair.
okay. So I do have notes from the from our administrator and what Herlin's notes are: the subject tree is a large conifer located in the front yard. The tree shows no live foliage and appears dead, with extensive loss of needles and branches. The proposed tree removal will not impact wetland resource areas. And her conditions are: all work shall be conducted from the upland yard side, with no equipment or debris allowed within 50 feet of wetlands. Stump may remain in place. If ground, chips must be removed from site and not placed near wetlands. Any change in scope, additional tree removal, or land alteration requires further conservation review. Does anyone have any questions on that?
Madam Chair, I noticed that our administrator and or the applicant had a diagram that showed the tree 65 feet from the wetland. It was
Yeah.
uploaded into OpenGov.
Would you like me to share my screen and show that? Or would you like to share your screen?
No, I looked at it earlier. I don't have it up right now, but I just wanted to say that for the benefit of the commission.
Okay. Would anyone on the commission like to see that? Doesn't appear so.
Madam Chair, if you're ready to accept the motions, I would be inclined to move to accept the administrator's recommendation to permit the proposed tree removal with the conditions as you read to us and proposed by the administrator.
I would accept that motion. Do I have a second?
Second,
Is that Richard?
Mike?
Oh, Mike. Okay. All right. Mary with the motion and Mike with the second. Roll call vote. Mike LaRouche,
Aye.
Mary Wilson,
Aye.
Richard Bursch,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
Hetty Doucette,
Aye.
and I for myself. So that is a motion to approve. Up next, we have, with the conditions as stated by the administrator. Up next, we have 19 Cliff View Road Terrace. Do we have the applicant on the call tonight? Does not appear that we do. Our administrator notes are several mid-sized trees were observed in close proximity to the residence. These trees lean over the house and are in direct conflict with the stone retaining wall and entry steps. The roots of the tree have displaced and damaged the stone retaining wall, compromising its structural integrity. Interference with the entry steps was also observed. The applicant confirmed that the stumps will be left in place after removal, thereby minimizing ground disturbance. Recommended conditions are all stumps are to remain in place. No stump grinding or excavation is permitted. Equipment shall remain on upland disturbed areas to avoid additional impacts within buffer zone. All debris shall be properly removed from the site and not deposited in any wetland or buffer zone. Any additional tree removals not marked or proposed must be submitted separately for review. Do we have any questions? Notes? And then also, let me just open up OpenGov to see if there's anything interesting in there.
Madam Chair, I noted from
Yes.
the administrator's diagram that the trees were 75 to 100 feet from the wetland.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mary. Okay, so, are we looking for a motion? To
I
approve
would
with the-
make a motion to accept the administrator's recommendation to allow the tree removal with all of the conditions as recommended by the administrator that you read to us here.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Do I have a second?
Second, Mike?
All right, Mary with the motion, Mike with the second. Roll call vote. Mike LaRouche,
Aye.
Mary Wilson,
Aye.
Richard Bursch,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
Hetty Doucette,
Aye.
and I for myself. Okay, accepted with the conditions as the administrator recommended. Next, we have 135 Flynn Road. And do we have the applicant on the call?
Yes, you do.
Okay, can you state your name and your address, please?
Louise Tater, 135 Flynn Road. Winwood,
Okay.
Mass.
Thank you. And we have a request to replace a deteriorating deck and using same footprint. I am struggling reading tonight. Okay, so, is there anything that you would like to share with us?
I don't believe so. I mean, I think the administrators has been out here and her recommendations, are all acceptable to us, no problem.
Okay, so from our administrator, we have the existing structure consists of a raised deck attached to the dwelling, supported by timber framing and posts. The framing and stairway show signs of deterioration consistent with long-term use and exposure. The project area is within a previously disturbed footprint immediately adjacent to the dwelling. No new expansion of the deck footprint or increase in impervious area is proposed. No excavation, grading, or filling beyond the removal, replacement of existing footings and deck elements is planned. The work will not encroach further into resource areas beyond the existing conditions. And her recommended condition is replacement in kind with no expansion of footprint or additional alteration of resource areas. Do we have any questions? from members of the commission? Mary, if your hand raised.
So I just through you wanted to ask if the applicants understand what the resource area is.
That's a good question.
And
I
if
don't-
you
I'm
don't,
not
that's
sure.
okay. Yeah, we would want to explain it to you so you walk out with
Yeah.
clear
You
understanding.
mean how close the water it is to the water?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're aware.
okay. And so then you're aware of the 30-foot do not disturb zone?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, that answers my
Well,
question, Madam Chair.
We don't have a choice. I mean, it's there already, so.
No,
strictly-
I wasn't a pushback on the on your application or anything. Just
Okay.
sometimes, here at the commission, we talk in terminology that we're familiar with,
Oh.
and residents aren't familiar with it. And so I would hate for you to walk out not understanding what we had said about, you're not allowed to encroach in the resource area. That's all.
Okay.
Thank you, Mary. That was a good
Yeah,
question.
thank you.
Yeah, and I can just for good measure, I'm just gonna pop up. Why is my Zoom being crazy tonight?
Zoom has
Madam
ghosts
Chair?
tonight.
It's being like, it's out of its mind tonight. It's just popping
I
over
think I heard
everywhere.
a question, Madam Chair, from Commissioner Birch.
Oh,
Yeah, Madam Chair,
Richard.
through you, are we using the existing footings or are we digging in and putting new footings in?
So there was, let me check the notes and then I will also, if the applicant would like to answer that question while I look at the. So no excavation, grading or filling beyond the removal, replacement of existing footings. So they do plan to replace the footings.
I got, it's Louise. I got an additional email. I questioned whether or not they were going to use the existing ones or just for clarification. And they said that if they can, they will use them. But if for some reason they can't, then they will have to replace them with new sonotubes.
So I do have a picture of the existing structure up on the screen right now for a visual reference. And then let me see if there are any.
We get one of the front end.
Yeah, because technically, if there's any excavation, they should be filing an RDA at the minimum.
I'm sorry, what was that?
If we have to replace, I think, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
So-
what I'd understood Commissioner Birch to say is that technically if there's any excavation at all, like new footings, that would drive a different application than an administrative application. It would drive what we call an RDA, or request for determination.
Okay, well, I'll have to have the contractor looked at it then.
And Madam Chair, if that's the direction that we go in, is there a way to eliminate the applicants having to pay twice or at least credit what they've already paid for?
Yeah, I think that would be a reasonable request.
So, okay, I'm confused now. So that means
So,
this
yeah, sorry.
application, does that mean that this application is just not what we needed?
Possibly. So, what Commissioner Birch is stating is that because if there is a possibility, if you are definitely going to excavate for new footings, this should have come in as a request for a determination of applicability. And
Okay,
it came in as a conservation administrative determination. So if you were, so we say we were to continue and you were to talk to your
Yep.
contractor, and they were to say, no, we definitely don't need to redo the footings, then you would come back and it would still be an administrative determination. If you were to talk to your contractor and he were to say, you know what, we definitely need to excavate out these footings, then we would ask that it come back as an RDA, which is the request for determination of applicability,
Okay.
because of the way that it would impact
So
the
what, do we
resource
just
area.
continue this then until I get,
Yes, I think that's going to be our best bet. And then as Mary
Yeah.
brought up, we can take your fee that you paid for this application and
Okay.
put it toward the next application, so you don't have to pay a second fee.
I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you for that statement, Mary. Or that
Yeah,
request.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you
I'm
very
not,
much.
Madam Chair, I just want to say I'm not so familiar with the fee structure. I'm just not actively involved in that end of it. I don't know if it's more expensive for an RDA, and it might be. So the, request for administrative determination, even if we credit it, it might not fully cover the cost. I just want to say that out loud.
Yeah, and that's why we say we would credit it. So it would go
Okay.
toward whatever the correct fee is.
So my next question is, do I do an RDA before I do a building permit?
Well, I think that your best bet would be to speak to your contractor and
Okay.
see if you can figure out if you definitely don't need new footings,
Then we're
come
all
back,
set?
continue the application as is.
Okay,
And if you do need new footings and there will be excavation, then
do the RDA.
come back. And would the recommendation be to just file the RDA at that point rather than come back? I think that would be your best bet. Let our administrator know that you would
Okay.
like to refile as an RDA.
Okay,
And then our office can.
okay.
Did you file this yourself in OpenGov?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so then it would be a very similar process. Mary, you have your.
I
hand
know
raised?
what the RDA is, yeah, I walked through it. And it's not hard until you get to the last page.
Okay, so you looked at
Because then
the,
it's asking for 8 million other kinds of forms, so. Let me call my contractor first before I get all upset.
I'm gonna
Okay.
ask,
okay, Mary, you have your hand raised?
I think the applicant may have had another question.
Uh,
I have a question, and
Yeah,
can we basically ask to revisit this issue rather than having to refile it? Can we say either we want to withdraw it or we want to continue it at a later date?
yes. So what we'll do now, as you know, this would be my recommendation. We'll start to the commission is, I would say we would continue to our next meeting.
Yep.
And then that would give you some time to figure out what your next steps are.
okay,
That way you still, your application is still here, it's still in process. And then
Yep.
maybe you come back at the next meeting and say, we're not gonna excavate, and then we just
Right.
continue down the path that we're on right now.
okay, very good. We
Okay.
can do that. I appreciate
Alright.
the direction.
All right, thank you for being understanding.
I'm
Mary,
just trying to do it right the same way you are.
yes, I appreciate that, thank you. Mary, you have your
Madam
hand raised?
Chair, yeah, if you would consider a recommendation, it might be useful to find out if the commissioners would be inclined to approve the administrative determination if, the contractor is able to confirm the footings, won't have to be replaced. It just to know if there's any other opposition or questions or concerns about this application, like a straw poll or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, good idea. Thank you, Mary. All right, so for my fellow commissioners, if the contractor comes back and says we do not need to do any excavation, the structure will go in place in the exact footprint that it is now, using the same footings. What would you think about that, Mike LaRouche?
I would approve that.
Okay, thank you. Mary?
I would approve that.
Richard?
I would ask for some, either erosion protection or a silt fence at the edge of construction, just to keep
Oh.
construction materials out of the lake. I mean,
that was
what I've
another one of,
seen with the diagrams, it looks like it's fairly close, within 20 feet or so from the edge of the water. Is that correct?
I think it's 22 feet.
Yeah, so I mean, it
That'll be-
proximity to the lake should warrant some protection to keep the construction materials out of the
I
lake.
think that was also part of the considerations from the administrator, that we have the round bales.
Yeah.
She actually
Okay,
pointed out.
are
she
those
actually
on
point-
any of the attachments that were submitted to OpenGov? I didn't happen to see any silt fence call outs in any of the diagrams.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing it in her notes, but
It's a great
that is-
recommendation, though.
that is a very good recommendation. Thank you, Rich.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mike.
I guess I've always made the assumption that that's should always be a given when a project is being considered. I guess it isn't, and I wish it were, because it seems as if we seem to always remind the applicant that that we'd like to add that to the project, but
Yeah, this is something I would like to kind of work through in our workflow process, where as before it even gets to the meeting, that stuff is sorted out. So, erosion controls are on the plans, stockpiles are on the plans, all of that stuff. So that will be part of our administrative process before a hearing is even on an agenda. Because technically the meeting packet is not really complete until all of that stuff is done. So, but we are, I think we're doing pretty well considering what we have in our office right now, which is very part-time. So those are things that I'm hoping to get done in the future. And I know they are working on it and trying to get those things in place.
thank you, Madam
But
Chair.
yes, thank you. That is a good observation, Mike. Thank you. Okay, Rich, do you have any other recommendations that you would
No,
make for this?
that's the biggest one that I see, at least at this stage. Like I said, if they're gonna be doing any sort of excavation, it certainly should be an RDA.
Okay,
And honestly, any construction in the 30-foot no-touch zone should always be at least submitted as an RDA.
okay. Yeah, thank you for that, Rich. Okay, Andrea, is there anything that you would like to see or add? If they were to come back, or would you just be?
I would agree with Rich's comments. I would like to see the addition of the silt barrier. And I don't know if is that something that can be requested on a CAD?
Yep, so in the diagram that they
Um,
give us, they can put it on a diagram
Yeah, I would approve in that case.
and put it in writing or something. Okay,
Mhm.
awesome. Thank you, Andrea. And Teddy, would you like to add anything or?
I concur with my fellow commissioners.
Okay. Okay, so, Louise,
Yes,
well, what we would do is I think I'm gonna look for a motion to continue to the next meeting. You can check with your contractor.
yes.
And when you come back, we would be looking for erosion controls on a diagram. Also.
Okay,
Okay. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
We actually discussed that with the administrator, and she even told me where to make sure they went. So, yeah,
okay, yeah, so we just like to see it in
Just-
writing too, because that keeps everybody honest.
no problem. No problem.
Okay, so at this point, I'd be looking for a motion to continue to our October 15th meeting.
So moved.
Second,
As Mary with the motion and Mike with the second, and a roll call vote, Mike LaRouche,
aye.
Mary Wilson,
Aye.
Richard Bursch,
Aye.
Andrea Burnout,
Aye.
Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
and I for myself. So, so we continue to October 15th. And if anything changes in between now and then, if you find out that you're going to have to excavate, then, you know, withdraw this application and refile it. As an
Can I just,
RDA.
can I just call Michael to do that?
Yep, you can call him or send him an email.
Okay. All right, I appreciate the help. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, up next we have 77 Peninsula Road, or Drive. Request for a removable dock on Hickory Hills Lake with no permanent, not permanent fittings. That threw me off a little bit. Okay. Do we have the applicant on the
Yes,
call?
Bob Novelli.
Okay, can you just state your name and your address for me?
Bob Novelli, 77 Peninsula Drive in Lunenburg.
Okay. Do you have anything you'd like to share with us? About
No, nothing special. I know there's a bunch of these removable docks on the lake. I was told I needed to go through this, even though it wasn't a permanent structure. So that's why I'm submitted the application.
Okay, great. Well, we appreciate that you were doing it the right way. Let's see, I'm just gonna pull up and see what we have in here for attachments. Did you attach any pictures of the dock that you're throwing to put in, or?
I did
Yep.
not, because I haven't bought the dock yet, pending approval.
Okay, so I do see, I have a picture of your boat sitting here with
Yep,
no
on the
dock,
shore.
is what it
Yep.
looks like.
Yep.
So let me just share this so we can get a little picture of where this dock will be going. So, this, I'm guessing, is your backyard or front
Yes, it
yard,
is.
depending on how you refer to it.
Hmm.
And, so this is your boat, and then
Ye-
would the dock be going somewhere where this boat
Yes,
is now?
almost exactly where that boat is now, going straight out.
Okay, and it is, let me pull up my notes. So does anybody have any questions on this while I have this picture up?
Why is this not an RDA application?
a good question.
When I called City Hall and I spoke with, hold on, Michael Gale, he said that this one is the one I needed to submit.
I believe he was mistaken. Docks or RDAs where it's an intrusion into the actual wetlands.
Let me go, Madam Chair, let me go quickly look up in the bylaws about that, because there is some language about what's allowed in a
Yeah, so this wouldn't be like a minor.
yeah, what's allowed under administrative determination, and I have that page.
I feel like I
can
should
get there quickly.
know this, but I don't.
Yeah, because
But,
this is clearly a
I
decision
just-
of the Conservation Commission, and it has to be done with an official application of determination by the administrator is not a formal request for the Conservation Commission.
I skew toward what Richard is saying because he is the most seasoned of us.
Well, and he tends to be very spot on about the
He
regulations
does tend to be
too.
very spot on about these
Yeah,
things.
yeah. So I'm not looking it up because I doubt him. I'm looking it up because if I read it, I'll remember it better.
Yeah. We'll all remember it after this.
Okay, so what an agent may make a decision on the following types of projects, and this is section 4.2.1 in our local town wetland protection regulation. And so the list of projects is top dressing, plantings, fence repair only, so not insulation, new wells over 50 feet, septic test holes, removal of dead trees, and limbing of trees to ensure crown remains. And that is the end of the list.
Okay,
So once again,
um,
we have proven Rich correct.
which we do a lot. Okay, so thank you very much for that, Rich. So, our administrator is from another town, which has, she's our interim administrator and she's fantastic. She's from another town, so I think our office person is very new, so they are learning, so I will make sure that they know that moving forward, that these types of requests, and actually just know that what the list that Mary just read off is what they should be looking at for administrative determinations, and anything over that should be an RDA. So thank you for both of these, Richard. So Mr. Novelli, we're going to have to ask you to refile this as an RDA. And I think that we could do the same thing that we did for the last applicant, which would be credit that application fee from the administrative determination to the RDA fee.
Okay. The RDA, is that the one that's like 8, 9 pages long online?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Okay, because I started with that one only because I was searching around on the website and it's asking me, items like, page number on
Your
um,
book
your
and
book and all that stuff. And that's when I spoke with Michael, who I guess because he's new, he says, no, that's for like developers and stuff like this. So where would like a regular person get all this information? Is that available on the Town of Lunenburg website in order to fill
so
in the app?
the book number and all of that it's available on the Registry of Deeds website. I mean, I guess, would we consider the application complete if those things aren't there, or would we be hoping that the administrators can help people with that, or because
I
that
think
is,
I think it's actually on the form as something you can't get past to the next page until you fill it in.
okay.
I
Yeah, it
believe you
does.
can get that on the assessor's page as well, because it's just
Yeah,
the,
you can.
where the registry of deeds holds the deed to your property, so. To
Okay.
verify that you are the owner, we would need to verify the deed.
So possibly, I'd have to look at the application. I have only looked at the NOI application, but maybe we could throw a link in there to where people could find that information. Or put it in the instructions, and make that a little bit more user friendly, because we don't want you to have to be an engineer in order to fill out an application. But we also want all of the information that we
Right.
need in order to process an application, so.
Okay. The only thing I'll ask then is there anything you're aware of I need to do a little different on this form so that the administrator doesn't have to re-come out to my place to look at the same thing? Or is it just going to trigger Herlene to come back out again when I submit the new RDA form?
I don't think, so she'll remember that she was at your property. She'll probably
Okay.
put notes in OpenGov for you to read, and it will say, she's already been out there. We may come out there as a commission to look at it. We may not. It would depend on what our schedules look like. Sometimes we do go out and look at RDAs, but yeah, there's nothing. There's no. She'll decide if I'm guessing that she probably won't want to go back out there because she's been out
Okay.
there. And she already
Okay.
has notes.
Alrighty. I'll start the RDA process tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for understanding.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Take care. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, we do have, I did receive some extra notes from Herlin. Let me, I have Dustin Powell on the call, and I just want to check in with you and see what property you're here for, or if you're just listening in.
I'm on for 41 and 47 Reservoir Road in the
Okay, yes.
auditorium. So.
Yeah. So you were left off of the agenda by accident, but Herlin did message me and let me know that she put her notes in OpenGov, and where it's not a hearing, we can take a look at this.
Okay.
So, let me just pull up are these in here as, this is two separate applications, correct? Even though
That-
it's two different addresses?
That's
Okay.
correct. Yep.
All right. Oh, so we have Powellstone and gravel. Property owner, Powellstone and gravel, 133. Okay. But it's at 41 Reservoir Road. Okay, that's the street next to it. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
40, 41 and 40, 47. Yep.
Okay.
So
So let's let me find her notes. All right, so this is your certificate of compliance. I am going to, do you have anything that you'd like to share? Or would you prefer that I share my screen and just share what we have from our administrator?
nothing that I have to share. Yeah, if you could share your screen. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So
Okay. Okay, so this is a certificate of compliance and the comment is all work observed is within the scope of the approved order of conditions. The replication area and associated erosion controls have been installed and stabilized. No outstanding work remains that would prevent issuance of a certificate of compliance. And this is a picture. And then we're gonna go through and open 1 million tabs because that is how. Same picture? OpenGov likes to make things work. Okay. Do we have any questions from members of the commission while I go through? This. It does not appear that we do. Do we have a motion?
Madam Chair, so
Yeah.
looking at the pictures you showed, it looked like we had grassed area on the right side, but nothing in the rear and nothing or on the left side, nothing in the rear, nothing on the right side. Is that out of the work area? Or why is that area is not stabilized?
Is it not? It looks like, is that not grass there?
Show it to
Hold
us
on.
so
again,
there's-
Madam Chair.
The first picture you showed looked like the right side of the house. I didn't see any green. And then the back looked like a depression. And again, nothing green. But I don't know if that's outside of the work area or not.
Mr. Powell, were you about to say something?
yeah, so basically if you're looking at the house, the left side has grass and that's the side basically with the closest like wetland buffer. And then in the back they basically just haven't spread loam yet because they're planning on doing just like pavers back there. But it is out of the wetland buffer zone. So they were just leaving it out so they could get access without damaging grass to go back there.
Okay.
And it will be it's outside of it, but that will be stabilized shortly anyways too. But it is outside of it.
And do we happen to have the as-built plan, Madam Chair?
I am looking for that right now. You typically
It is in
right
open.
here.
Yeah, it's an OpenGov.
Yeah, Harlan usually makes them, is very good about making people get them in for certificate of compliance. Okay, so we are. Where am I? Let's see. This is is this the drive? Is this a driveway or is this the street?
Madam Chair, you're not sharing.
Oh. Hold on. Okay, so we have a,
Yeah, so that's the common driveway coming up.
so this is
maybe-
a driveway,
Yep,
and then this is the property
that's
here.
correct. Yep.
Okay, and then we have a wetland replication area. Is that for 47?
That's for both 47 and 41 for the
Okay.
common driveway.
So 41 is, this is 41 right here that we're looking at?
Yep, the top left.
Why is it not there? And then where is 40? Wait, so this was 47. Where is 41?
47 is the far left or the top left.
This one, right?
Yep.
And
That's
then where
correct.
is 41? Is
Uh,
that on
or-
here too?
sorry, maybe I misspoke. That the top left is 41 and the far top right is 47.
Okay, so this is 47 here
Yep,
and this is 41. So on the next certificate of compliance, we'd be looking at this one.
that's correct.
So we have. So when we're looking at all the pictures that we have are from near the house. Do we have any pictures of the replication area? Did I miss that?
I don't know if any have been submitted, but I do know that Marianne DePinto with Three Oaks went out and looked at it and certified it. I'm just saying that it was built to plan.
Okay, here we go. So, Brian Marchetti and Three Oaks, which is Marianne DePinto, conducted a site inspection of the replication area. First elevation was then to be just under 1,000 feet. Vegetation within their replication area is nearly 100% wetland species. Predominantly sedges and rushes. They have just begun to leaf out, which is there's some bare spots of standing water. Let me know if I'm going too fast, if anybody wants me to slow down.
Madam Chair, what was the date of this report?
May 2nd, 2025.
Okay, thank you.
So early. I wish you don't have any pictures of it over the spring and summer. Do you?
Let me see. I might just from walking through.
Madam Chair, I note that
Yes.
Herlin's notes say that she did go and inspect the replication area. And her notes do say the replication area appears stable and vegetated.
Okay. She did say that. Okay. Do we have any other questions for members of the commission? Okay. That appears so. Do we have any
Good,
motion? First,
I do have a question. So it sounds like they're still going to be doing work on the site. And so I just want to make certain that the applicant understands they still have an obligation to ensure no sedimentation is escaping down to the wetland or to the buffer zone, particularly a 30-foot buffer zone.
That's correct. Yep. It's basically just around the house, and all the grades pitch back towards the house. So they shouldn't have any, but we'll be very cautious either way. Just with the final, just spreading loam and just the pavers behind the house, which are all out of the buffer zones.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions, members of the commission?
Madam Chair, just as a comment, just looking at the, elevation, topography that's on the as-built, like we, my takeaway is that, all that Dustin just said is represented on the as-built.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Does anybody want me to pop that up on the screen or? I'll pop it back up just because this is also the next address. We do have. Okay. Okay, so do I have a motion?
I would move to accept the, administrator's recommendation and approve.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Do I have a second?
Second, Mike,
Okay, Mary with the motion, Mike with the second. Roll call vote. Mike LaRouche,
aye.
Mary Wilson,
Aye.
Richard Bursch. You're muted.
Aye.
Thank you. Andrea Burnout,
Aye.
Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
and I for myself. So that is a motion to approve, and that is for 41 Reservoir Road for the certificate of compliance. Okay, so now we have to do them separately. I'm pretty sure we have to do them separately, so we're gonna do them separately. Just to make sure we're covering all of our bases. So up next, we have 47 Reservoir Road.
That's correct. Yep.
And let me just pull up this application. Okay, and then so this is the house on the left side of the as-built. And I'm going to, first, let me just read our administrator comments. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so the first thing is all work observed is within the scope of approved OOC. The replication area and associated erosion controls have been installed and stabilized. No outstanding work remains that would prevent issuance of a certificate of compliance. It is all, oh wait. I'm back in 41 for some reason. Oh, those pictures look familiar. Clicked on this. Okay, here we go. I must have clicked wrong somehow. And here we go. Both lots have been developed with single-family homes and driveways consistent with the approved plans. Shared driveway is in place with gravel and paved sections and is consistent with the approved as-built plan. No evidence of additional disturbance beyond approved work limits was observed. Lawn areas have been established around the homes and plantings adjacent to the structures are in place. Vegetative stabilization is sufficient with no signs of erosion or sediment transport. The approved limit of work adjacent to wetland resource areas and the designated wetland replication area were inspected. The replication area appears stable and vegetated. No encroachment into wetland resource areas was noted. All work observed is within scope of the approved OOC. So this is picture. We have another picture. Another picture. As built. Do we have any questions from members of the commission? It's not appear that we do. Do
Madam
we have
Chair,
any? Yes.
I would make a recommendation to approve, consistent with the administrator's recommendation.
Thank you, Mary. Do we have a second?
Second, Mike,
Thank you, Mike. All right, roll call vote. Mike LaRouche,
aye.
Mary Wilson,
Aye.
Richard Birsch,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
Patty Doucette,
Aye.
and I for myself. So that is an approved or certificate of compliance for 47 Reservoir Road.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a
Thanks,
good
have a
night.
good night.
Thanks, too.
All right, so we don't have anyone else on the call, but we do have one other address that Herlin had sent me that she had not put on the meeting minutes, and that is 32 Pine Grove. And they have also have a certificate of compliance that she has recommendations in OpenGov. So I'm going to pop that up on the screen. All right, so we have we have messages from Sophie on here. And let me see, maybe she didn't put her notes in OpenGov. Let me see what she sent me. $13.72. Oh, this is 24-26. Not seeing any new movement on this one. Let me see if they refiled. (24-26). I don't know why some properties, here we go, have two records and everything is kind of split up between a couple of records. We have to look at merging these. Okay, so site inspection for full compliance. The property at 32 Pine Grove Road is well stabilized and landscaped. Lawns and perennial plantings are established around the residence with no evidence of exposed soils or erosion. Stonework and plantings appear stable and functioning as intended. The lakefront and patio areas are in accordance with the approved plans. No evidence of unpermitted structures, fills, or alterations within resource areas was observed. No erosion, sedimentation, or drainage concerns were noted. Site is stable, and there's no indication of runoff toward the resource area beyond what was anticipated in the design. So we have some pictures. Just the right one. Nope. That's not it. I'm losing it. Okay. And this is the original plan as built. Okay, so do we have any questions for members of the commission? Okay, do we have any motions, recommendations?
Madam Chair, I would make a motion to approve consistent with the administrator's recommendation.
Thank you, Mary. Do I have a second?
Second, Mike?
Okay, that's Mary with the motion and Mike with the second. Roll call vote, Mary Wilson,
Aye.
Mike LaRouche,
Aye.
Richard Bursch,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
Kenny Doucette.
Aye.
I for myself, that is a motion to approve certificate of compliance for 32 Pine Grove. Okay. We also have certificate of compliance for 155 Reservoir Road. We can just close some of these tabs. Did we didn't already hear Reservoir Road, right? I'm not losing. That was another Reservoir Road.
That was a different one.
Yeah. My brain is just a little, I guess, tired today. Okay, so 155 Reservoir Road, I do believe that there are notes on this one in the meeting. Site walk completed on Friday, 9/12. No as-built submitted, but was able to use plan approved under order of conditions. No further encroachment or deviation from plan was noted. So let me open up this application. Oh, where did my go there? And my body feels like it's like 11 o'clock right now. I'm way too tired for 8:30. All right. Looking for, looks like those might be her only notes. And see if there's any. Share my screen. I'm not really seeing anything exciting in here though. Let's see. This is the requests to the EPA, to the DEP.
Madam Chair, what was the project?
So this is the order of conditions. This does not have. Attached to it other than the order. I guess it might not be an open gov, might need to go to. Because she said that the as-built is not here. Let me see, did I miss anything in attachments?
Madam Chair, if I may?
Yes.
Because I still had the local municipal regulation up in my browser.
Yep.
A certificate of compliance requires a as-built to be signed and stamped by professional land surveyor or engineer.
Okay, so and then this is, I think Herlin went and grabbed the as-built from,
What she said was she was able to use the plan that was approved under the
oh,
original
yeah,
OOC.
okay, yep. Okay, so are you recommending that we continue this and request an as-built?
Certificate of compliance, we're not allowed to continue it.
Yeah.
The process is
Oh.
that we would have to reject it
Right.
and notify the applicant that they're required to provide an as-built drawing.
Okay, so would you like to make a motion to
I would
deny?
make a motion to deny. And that Herland notify the applicant that an as-built drawing is required, a stamped as-built drawing is required.
Okay. All right, do we have a second?
Second, Mike?
Okay, Mary with the motion, Mike with the second. Or with a motion to deny with a, and then for administrator to request an as-built when they refile. Mary Wilson,
Aye.
Mike LaRouche,
Aye.
Richard Furrish,
Aye.
Andrea Burnett,
Aye.
Teddy Doucette,
Aye.
and I for myself. Okay. So that application has been denied. Okay, so up next, we do not have any updates on violations except for 199 Mass Ave, which Greg has already updated us on. I need to check in with her, Lynn. I know she sent out letters. She had to resend them. I just need to check in with her on that again. As far as I know, Greg is the only one who responded and CC'd me that I saw. New business. Do we have any conservation updates from anyone? Does not.
Madam Chair, I have a
Yeah.
question. It may be more
Yes.
appropriate for comments. I apologize
Yeah.
if it is.
Yeah,
We've recently had a flurry of volunteers working in our conservation areas,
yes.
which, for which we're tremendously grateful. I wondered if the commission may not, right, but the town might have some certificate of appreciation type of format that we could consider using and issuing to some of these volunteers who've been working so hard.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. I actually, and if you're talking specifically about Cowdrey, I went out there this weekend because I wanted to take some pictures of the stuff that they did. And I was going to, per your recommendation, submit to the select board that we, appreciate them at a meeting and recognize, especially Josie and Chris for what they did at Cowdrey. Also, I mean, Bob does so much work
And
for
then we had
trail systems.
yeah, Bob's been doing a tremendous amount of work in the conservation areas, multiple areas, right? And I think he's probably racking up a number of, hours a week, right? And then we just had this year at least 3 different Boy Scout, Eagle Scout initiatives that have made some improvements in our conservation areas. So I think that's worthy of acknowledging. And when I was the chair, it was kind of pulled in so many different directions that I wasn't as good as possibly I could have been in acknowledging all the volunteer efforts. But I think it's an important thing to do. And so if the town has a certificate of appreciation or something format we could use, I'd be happy to ask Jen and do some of the legwork to get those things, you know, in front of you for approval or, you know, help iron out the workflow, if it's helpful to you.
A- Anything is helpful to me, Mary. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's figure out how to move forward on that because I do really want to do that. I think I appreciate everything that volunteers do for us. I mean, Bob, I don't know what we do without Bob. And then
Yeah,
Josie
Bob's
bringing that.
tremendous. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Josie did you know, just stepped right in when there were those issues in the Cowdrey and took on a lot and made it happen.
Yeah, and I went there this weekend and it's a huge difference. For the trails are much clearer now. I saw some of the bridge that they did and yeah, it's really nice. So I appreciate everything that everyone is doing to keep Lunenburg having just a great trail systems everywhere. We're very lucky to have all of the trail systems that we do, coming from a town where we were out there this weekend and I'm coming from Framingham, was where I lived before I lived here. And if you went out we had Callahan and Callahan was really it. So everybody was there. You know, in Lunenburg, I know we don't have as many people as Framingham, but there's so many trails to choose from in the area that they're just not as crowded because we just have a lot more open space. And that's because of, you know, what the commission does to keep those trail systems alive, but also the volunteers that help with that stuff. Because without people like Bob, we just wouldn't have the trail system, and Mary and Chris and Josie, we just wouldn't have, and the Eagle Scouts, such vital trail systems like we do. So yeah, anything I can do to help you, Mary? Anything you need me to do? Anything
I'll
we
just put
can
you on
figure
copy
out?
on the dialogue with Jen so she knows that it's something that's a result of, you know, you and I talking. And then yeah, I'll reach out to you if there's anything that I need you to do.
Thank you
Signatures
so
or
much.
anything of the like.
All right. Thank you. That's a great idea.
I actually had that thought while I was walking in some of our wonderful trails.
It's amazing here. We really are so lucky to have. That's one of the reasons we moved here. And I still haven't even explored them all, and I've lived here for 2 years now. Like exactly 2 years as of yesterday. Okay, so thank you so much for that, Mary. Another conservation update, which is, I don't know if this belongs here. I was gonna say I took 101 and 102 again over the last 2 weeks for the math classes. And I know Andrea and Teddy did too. We have there's some more coming up. I know Michael sent out the signups for the MACC conference that's coming up. So if you didn't receive that or you missed it, there is a sheet that was sent out and you can choose what classes you want to take at the conference, which is all day on October 25th. There are, I know that I'm gonna take the one about running meetings effectively. Which I think will be very helpful. And then, there's one other, I forget what it is, but definitely look for that. If you are interested in signing up and you missed that, let me know. I'll make sure you get that sign up sheet and let's get those in soon if you're planning on going. And that's all I have for conservation updates. Retaking 101 and 102 was really helpful for me. And then, Andrea or Teddy, did you have anything you wanted to share that you learned in 101 or 102? And don't feel obligated to say anything. I'm not trying to call you out, but if you have anything that you'd like to share, I'd love to hear it. Okay. All right, so moving on to old business, conservation budget. Our budget is now intertwined with the land use department. So, you know, the things we have are but I still need to figure out exactly how our budget works. I know we have our fee collection. This is, you know, kind of embarrassing that I'm not more up to date on this, but I'm trying. We don't have any encroachment issues. Do we have any grant updates?
Yeah, slight grant update. The only active grant that we have right now is the one that was awarded in 2023. It looks, the biggest part of the project, we had 3 projects. The biggest part of the project was the Cowdrey, trying to improve access off of Townsend Harbor Road. And recall, we have if you can get to it, we have a wonderful, accessible, wheelchair accessible wildlife viewing platform back there. But the problem is nobody can get to it because the access road is in a state of such disrepair. And so the grant was going to allow us to do all the planning work to improve that roadway. And the engineering firm that we hired has flagged, a whole bunch of issues that are really going to take some time to try to resolve. Bob was talking to the grant administrator, Cynthia Nelson, and she thought maybe we ought to try to ask for an extension. And Bob was going to try to do that for us. He sent me a note and he offered to do it because I've been really jammed up at work. Yeah, so I just sent him I resent him the Dropbox access where I have a lot of that documentation stored because he's not authorized to access stuff on SharePoint. I probably ought to put it on SharePoint too, just so we have it as part of our archive. So now that I've thought of it, I'll do that as well. But anyway, that's what's going on. We're hopeful we'll get an extension granted because it's really going to take us longer than through the end of the year. The grant is active through December 31st, and the biggest portion of our reimbursements would be with the second or third and final project.
Okay, yeah. Do they typically allow extensions? Is that something that?
They have in the past very generously. I had heard, every time you apply for a grant and get actually approved for a grant, you have to go through a lot of grant administration training. And in that training, they over the past 4 years that I've been managing grants, they've said that they've not been approving those as generously as they have in the past. But Cynthia Nelson, the grant administrator, thought that there was a decent chance we might get approved for an extension.
Cross. All right. Thank you, Mary. Conservation land improvement. Do we have any updates on that? I know we talked about the work at Cowdrey at the last meean.
The Boy Scout, the Eagle Scout candidate that was doing the trailhead kiosk over at Reno sent a note this weekend saying that he had completed that.
Oh, I don't think I got that.
I haven't been by to see it. Well, it's teenager. I was going to go by and see it, right, and then forward the email to you, but I haven't had a chance to go by and see it yet.
Okay. Yeah, all right, awesome. If I go by there, I'll try to go in and take a look too. I haven't really been to Reno.
It's not
I've just
very,
been to
very
Cal-
well developed. We don't really have trails. The candidate wanted to go and mark trails and whatnot for us, and we don't really have any trails laid out in there.
I did see that
yet,
email.
so, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Okay, so up next we have Hollis Road. You think I'll skip over that one?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
I agree with that suggestion.
And then committee reports, Master Plan Steering Committee. Hetty, do you have anything you'd like to share? I know our sheet is due. Is that the 4th that it's due?
It was due on the 1st. I did
the
submit
1st.
it
Awesome.
last week, despite not being able to join the meeting. There was an issue with the link and the Zoom. I don't know that anybody who was trying to Zoom in was able to get in. The link was for like sometime in October. I think October 8th, but the meeting
Okay.
was last Wednesday. So I sent the chair our spreadsheet, and I'm just glad we got it in on the deadline.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say that like things like that happening are things that happen. I'm sure that we've had that happen with sometimes our Zoom links are clickable, sometimes they're not. We're all just trying to do the best we can here. Yeah, I think that we had that happen with stormwater too, because my husband likes to go in sometimes and watch the meetings because those are in person, and nobody lets him sometimes, so, or he's in the wrong link or something from the agenda, so it happens.
Yeah, I'll be in
Uh,
person next week, so hopefully I'll have more update for you the following week.
Oh, does master plan meet twice a month?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was once a month for some reason. Okay, that's a lot of work. I really appreciate you, stepping up and joining that committee also, because I know, between this and that, that's a lot. And
Yeah, happy to.
yeah, it's great that you're doing that. Thank you. Open space. Chris actually didn't make it, so I know, and he had said some interesting stuff last week about how they're moving toward taking on some more stuff in open space. So I'm curious to hear how that's going. Stormwater for myself, we have still been talking to another outside consultant about getting a better roadmap for implementing a stormwater utility, how to better socialize it to the town, some messaging, and we are just kind of still working out the scope of that. And that's really the only update from stormwater right now. Okay, do we have any other communications from members of the commission? We're also quiet tonight. I feel like, I don't know, I think it's just because it's October and it's cold out and I'm just tired. I think we're all tired. I'm just speaking for everybody. Okay, upcoming meeting is October 15th, 2025 on Zoom. And with that, I think I would be looking for a motion to adjourn unless anybody has anything else they'd like to add.
Madam Chair, it's
Yes.
8:56 PM and I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, motion accepted. Do I have a second?
A second.
Mike with the second. Okay, roll call vote. Mike LaRouche,
Aye.
Mary Wilson,
Aye.
Richard Bursch,
Aye.
Andrea Burnap,
Aye.
Eddie Doucette,
Aye.
and I for myself. All right. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much,
everyone.
everybody. Have
Thank
a great
you.
night.
Good
Thank
night.
you. You
Have a
too.
great now. All right, bye-bye.